I am really excited to share with you today a continuation of my Blessing Blocker series. That how many are being blessed by the Blessing Blocker series? Wonderful. Well, today I want to minister to you a Blessing Blocker that I believe will revolutionize and change your life and empower your life, and that is a discernment. And I want to minister the Blessing Blocker as a lack of discernment. And discernment is the ability to make good judgments. And so often we make judgments based upon our experience, our background, our education, and we don't really discern. And because we don't discern, and it go haywire, and things fall apart, and we want to know what went wrong. Relationships fall apart. You think that the person is with you forever. You think that they're dedicated and they're committed to you, and they're part of your life, and you love on them, and you give them all of your love, and you don't get the same thing back. You know, it's 70-30 or 60-40. But we're talking about a 50-50 love. More so 100-fold love, or 100 on each end. That there's a total commitment of love, unconditional love. And when you have unconditional love in your life, you think everybody else have it as well. And that may or may not be the case. And you may discern some things and pick up some things, but you ignore them. You may ignore some things that you pick up on the radar, but you say, oh, no, I'm missing God. That ain't God. So I want us to get present to the fact of making good judgment decisions and having a spirit of discernment, the ability to make good judgment calls and make good judgment, and to learn when people come to your life, what are they for? You got to ask yourself, when people come into your life, what are they there for? And we can assume that they're for one thing, in reality it's another. And we can be deceived and hoodwinked and bamboozled and tricked, and we allow people in our circle, or we allow people to get close to us, or we allow people to be a part of our lives, and we don't understand their motives. And we think that all their motives are pure. We think that they mean us well. We think that they're going to stand with you forever, and they got your best interests at heart and all of that. And then you find out when it's all said and done, there was a hidden agenda that you knew not about. So today, as I start, my foundation is that we have been blessed with spiritual blessings in the heavenly places. And as our very own First Lady alluded to, that we're seated in heavenly places. Amen. That God has seated us far above principalities and powers and demons and devils and demonic activity. We're seated there. But if you don't know where your seat belongs, you know, you come in this place, you don't know where you're supposed to sit, then you could sit in the wrong section. But you are seated in heavenly places with Christ, far above principalities. That means that you are an overcomer. That means demons and devils and demonic activity should not have any play in your life. They should not dominate. They should not rule. They should not control over who you are. You should have the ability to control your life and make decisions based upon your empowerment that God has given to your life, that makes you more than a conqueror. Know that you can do all things through Christ who will strengthen you. Know that you're the head and not the tail. Know that if God be for you, everybody else might as well be. These are foundational stones that your life must be anchored. And what happens so often is we don't realize that we're fighting a spiritual battle and we're fighting a natural battle. Because the scripture says that our battle, our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness, against spiritual wickedness in the high places. So where you're seated up there in high places spiritually, so is demons and devils, but you're seated above them. But sometimes we don't know that and understand that, and we think we're sitting around with demons and devils, but we're seated above them. And so the enemy comes and goes around as a roaring lion, seeking whom he can destroy. See who can hoodwink, bamboozle, and trick, and lure into his trap to think that you're less than, to devalue you, to make you feel like you're a loser, to make you feel like you're a failure, to make you feel like you can't conquer, that you ain't all that. Who you think you are? You know, you ain't nobody. And you say, I don't know why I thought I was somebody. I ain't nobody. And you buy into Satan's trap. You buy into his schemes. And so our job is to get heaven down on earth. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So heaven is a done deal. The word is settled in heaven, and God has settled everything. Your life has already been laid out. Now you walk into your greatness. You walk and fulfill the plan of God in your life. But what happens so often, people are put in our life and we are connected with them and they influence us, good, bad, or ugly. And so they can have a tendency to hoodwink us or trick us, and we get close to them and we make decisions based on them and not based on ourselves. And so we have to discern. So I want to minister to you a blessing blocker. It's the lack of the ability to discern. To discern people, to discern their motives, to discern what they're up to. And we can get confused at why people are in our lives. And so today I'm going to help us to have a spirit of discernment, because there's basically 4 types of people that come into your life. One of them is a constituent. Some of them are comrades. Some of them are on the outer circle, and some of them are confidants. And confidants are what you want in your life. Confidants are people who love you unconditionally. It's not based on what you do or what you don't do. It's not based on how you act or how you don't act. They love you. They are for you, and they're for what you're for. They're not against you at anything, but they will put you in your place. They'll tell you when you're wrong, because they love you and they have your best interests at heart. And they're confidants. I mean, they are dedicated to you. I mean, you can't do anything wrong. You get in trouble, they get in trouble with you. You go to jail, they go bail you out. I mean, you go to the hospital, they're in the hospital for you. They are in your life because they love you. And they are for you and for what you are up to and the difference you are to make. Those are the people who committed to you. They are dedicated. But you don't have a lot of them in life. Those are not a lot of people that you have, because people come and go in your life. And if they get mad at you, those are not confidants. If they get mad at you, they are not confidants. If they leave and walk out of your life, then they were never for you. But these people that God send your way are confidants that just are loyal. These people are so dedicated to you that they're so faithful, they're so committed, and you can't do nothing wrong. And then when you do something wrong, they're going to love you through it, and and you don't have to walk around with a mask. Those are the kind of people you can be yourself. You don't have to get tired. I'm glad when everybody go, because I'm tired of wearing this mask, fronting in front of everybody, because I don't want them to know who I am. So around the people who are not confident, you putting on this air, you putting on this front, you smiling and grinning and everything, and you're worn out when they leave. But confidence, you're not. You're relaxed around them, you yourself. If you get mad and cuss and say something, they're not going to say. Hi, I'm Dr. Randall Hall. I am really excited to share with you today a continuation of my Blessing Blocker series. How many are being blessed by the Blessing Blocker series? Wonderful. Well, today I want to minister to you a blessing blocker that I believe will revolutionize and change your life and empower your life, and that is a discernment.